My name is Do-hyeon. I'm 42 years old. I was the deputy commander of security at the Teukgak Guard, command of the Korean People's Army. My rank was colonel, but what does that rank even mean now? I was loyal for 18 years. No, I believed I was loyal. On the outskirts of Pyongyang, deep in the mountains. Teukgak, it's a place that doesn't exist on any map. A world ordinary citizens can't even imagine. I was the person who protected that place. Every morning at 5:30 a.m. Wake up, I'd put on my uniform and look in the mirror. Neat collar, straight shoulders. My family received the highest grade rations in Pyongyang. Rice, meat, oil. Even when others starved, our table was abundant. My son was admitted to a prestigious school through special selection. My wife was happy. I was proud. I believed this was the reward for loyalty. But I was wrong. Inside Teukgak, I saw many things. Secret meetings of high-ranking officials. Black vehicles arriving at dawn. Low voices echoing from the end of darkened corridors. And people disappearing. Someone who was there yesterday is gone today. No name, no record, no trace. Everything erased, as if they never existed in the first place. At first, I was curious. Why? For what reason? But I soon realized, there are no reasons. At the center of power, reasons aren't necessary. Suspicion alone is enough, and suspicion is always there. It was autumn of 2018. That night, I was on night patrol. Third basement floor of Teukgak. As I passed the conference room, I heard sounds from inside. Heated argument, shouting, and then a scream. A short, sharp scream. I stopped. My hand touched my gun, but I couldn't move. Beyond the door, something heavy fell. Then silence. Long, long silence. I just walked past, as if I saw nothing, heard nothing. That's how you survive in Teukgak. The next morning, 3 high-ranking officials who attended that meeting all disappeared from the records. No photos, no names, no work logs. As if they had evaporated. That night, I couldn't sleep. My wife was sleeping peacefully beside me. But I stared at the ceiling, thinking, what is loyalty? Is it protection, or is it a shackle? The answer was clear. It's a shackle. And someday, that shackle becomes a noose. After that, something changed. I felt the eyes of state security agents on me. Those subtle moments of hesitation when passing in the corridor. Document inspections became more frequent. The frequency of checks on my work logs increased. At first, I thought I was imagining it. But I wasn't. One day, my wife said to me, "Honey, the rations have decreased." Her voice was trembling. What's wrong? I couldn't answer. Because I knew. It had already begun. A few days later, I was summoned by state security. "Comrade, we have a few things to confirm." A cold room. An iron desk. 3 pairs of eyes staring at me. "We've detected unusual movements inside Teukgak recently. You know something, don't you?" I shook my head. "I don't know anything." "Really?" "Yes." The interrogation lasted 3 hours. Repeating the same questions in different ways. The kind that exhausts you. When I returned home, my son was crying at the entrance. "Dad, the kids at school are looking at me strangely. The teacher won't look at me either." My heart sank. That's when I knew for certain. Our family was already on the list. That night, after my wife and son fell asleep, I returned to the Teukgak office. My hands were shaking, but I couldn't stop. I began transferring everything to a USB drive. Internal records of Teukgak, meeting minutes, lists of people who disappeared, secret transaction documents of high-ranking officials, and everything I had witnessed. I set the password as my son's birthday, March 14, 2009. I thought this USB would be our family's only insurance. For several days, I made plans. Escape. Just saying that word felt like being strangled. But there was no other choice. If we stayed, we'd die. My wife and son too. That was certain. One evening, I told my wife, "We have to leave." My wife dropped her spoon. "What are you talking about?" "To the south." "Are you crazy?" My wife's eyes widened. "What happens if we're caught? What about Jun-hyuk? If we stay here, we die anyway. My voice was cold. We're already on the list. It's only a matter of time. My wife cried, but eventually, she nodded. We prepared for a week. Minimal luggage, water, flashlights, and maps. I memorized the route through the DMZ, the mountain area near Kaesong, paths avoiding the minefields, the distance to the southern fence. I engraved everything in my mind. October 17, 2018, 2 a.m. We left our house. When I woke my son, he asked, "Dad, where are we going?" "Be quiet. Just follow me." It was a pitch-black night without moonlight. We drove toward the outskirts of Kaesong. My heart felt like it would burst every time we passed a checkpoint. But my ID and rank insignia were still valid. Urgent Teukgak business. The guards saluted and opened the way. Kaesong outskirts, civilian control line. We abandoned the car there. We had to walk, into the mountains, into the darkness. We couldn't even turn on the flashlights. We walked relying on moonlight. I held my son's hand tightly. "Jun-hyuk, you must not make any sound." "Okay, Dad." The child's voice trembled. The mountain path was steep, tripping over tree roots, torn by thorns. But we couldn't stop. After about an hour of walking, I saw the fence in the distance. The northern border. Beyond that was the DMZ. And beyond that was the south. We crawled under the fence, twisting our bodies through the rusty barbed wire. My wife cut her hand. Blood flowed, but she made no sound. The moment we crossed the fence, a flare exploded. The sky lit up. "Get down." We dropped to the ground. Ear-splitting siren sounds, and a loudspeaker. "Stop. Don't move." Gunfire. Bullets hitting the ground. "Run," I shouted. We started running, looking only forward, looking only south. I heard dogs barking behind us. The pursuit team. My heart felt like it would explode. My lungs felt like they were burning. But we couldn't stop. "Dad, I'm scared," Jun-hyuk cried. "It's okay, just a little more." It was a lie. It couldn't be okay. Landmines. No signs. Not marked on the map. We ran through them, step by step, stepping on ground that could explode at any moment. Miraculously, we survived. After running for 30 minutes, I saw another fence ahead. The southern fence. "There. Once we cross that, we're safe," my wife said through tears. We ran with our last strength. When we reached the fence, the gunfire behind us grew closer. "Hurry." I pushed my son up first. The child climbed over the barbed wire. Next was my wife. Then me. The barbed wire tore my clothes and dug into my flesh. But I didn't feel the pain. The moment we fell over the fence, another flare exploded behind us. But they didn't chase anymore. Because this is the South. We collapsed on the ground, gasping for breath. My wife was crying. Jun-hyuk was trembling in my arms. I looked up at the sky. I could see the stars. The same sky. But here, it looked different. We made it," my wife said in a trembling voice. I nodded, and tears flowed. Tears I'd held back for 18 years. "We didn't." My voice cracked. "We didn't run away. We survived." To tell the truth, the USB was in my pocket, encrypted with my son's birthday. Inside it contained all the truth of Teukgak. The names of those who disappeared. The other side of power. Everything I witnessed. Dawn was breaking. I heard the sound of a car in the distance. Southern soldiers were coming. I stroked Jun-hyuk's head. "It's okay now." "Really?" "Yes, really. This time, it wasn't a lie. We survived. And now we can speak. The truth buried in silence. The names of those who disappeared in darkness. What happened in the shadow of Teukgak. My name is Do-hyeon. I'm no longer a colonel. I'm no longer the deputy commander of Teukgak security. I'm just Do-hyeon. A person who survived. A person who came to testify. And now, it begins.